Welcome back everyone, this is Travis with Fish and Hex. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the Jebao DP-4 dosing pump. We're going to go ahead and get into setting up the date, the time, and then we're going to calibrate the pumps. Now if you don't already know this, I use two of these on my 125 gallon reef tank. One of them is for calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, and then the second one I use the Red Sea color program, which takes up all four of the heads. Now some of the things you're going to need is some dosing or airline tubing, and then a graduated cylinder of 100 milliliters. Alright, so that's what you're going to need to calibrate the pump itself. Okay, once the pump is plugged in, the first screen you're going to see is the date and time. So let's go ahead and set that. You're going to hit the middle button here. You're going to see set date and time, and there's a little arrow to the right there. You can see you can change that. You're going to hit the middle button again. Now the date, it's already set to what the correct day, but we're just going to go ahead and do it again. So we got 2016. You can set it March, and then you just pick your day. Once you do that, you go ahead and select the middle button. And then the time here, now this is in the 24-hour military time style, so you're going to go ahead and set whatever your time is. If you so choose to do the seconds, you can. I don't really bother with that. But then you hit the middle button again, and that will bring you back to the main screen. So that's the date and time. Okay, before we get into calibrating the first pump, I want to explain the process for you so it makes sense. To calibrate this pump, you actually have to pull water out of a reservoir and measure out 100 milliliters. Now the time it takes to pull out that 100 milliliters is what calibrates the pump itself. What I like to use, which has made it easier over a period of time, is use a glass container with a plastic top and a hole in it. Now I'd like to use stiff airline tubing with the flexi airline here, and this basically allows me to pull water from the bottom so I don't accidentally pull any air or the tube doesn't move around and we don't get any air bubbles. Now the first thing you want to do is go ahead and get your reservoir set up. It's really only need 100 milliliters, but you can use whatever amount you want. We're going to connect it to the input of our first pump there. Now what you're going to do is we're going to put this in this container here, which is the 100 milliliter graduated cylinder, and we're going to connect it to the output of the first pump. Alright, so that's basically the whole equipment setup. We're going to pull 100 milliliters out, and we're going to measure it out here, and basically the time it takes for it to get to 100 milliliters is what calibrates the pump. So let's zoom in and get started on that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is bleed the line. You want to get all the air bubbles out to make sure you have an accurate reading. Now what you can do, it's much easier with clear airline tubing, but black is all I had on hand right now. So you're going to run the pump, you're going to flick it, and basically over here until it's a steady flow without any air bubbles. That's the best way to do if you have black airline tubing. And if you have clear, you can just see the air bubbles in general. So you want to get all the air bubbles out. So let me show you how to do that in the pump, and we'll get started. Okay, to run the pump manually, you come here, you can hit either the right or left arrow, it doesn't matter. You're going to see manual mode pumps. You can select what pump you want. Alright, so we're on pump 1. You're going to go ahead and hit enter. And you can hear that it's running the pump there. Okay, so let's go ahead and run the pump. As you can see, there's water coming out right now. What you can do is just set that down in the cylinder. You come here and just... Usually the air bubbles get trapped up in the pump head itself. Just give it a couple flicks. Alright, I usually let it run for about 100 milliliters just to make sure all the air bubbles are out. Alright, so that's how you bleed the line. Alright, to start the calibration process, you're going to come to the main screen here. You can either hit the top or bottom button, doesn't matter. You're going to see correct pumps. So you can select whatever pump you want. We're on pump 1. You're going to go ahead and hit enter. Now you can see here that it says 100 milliliters equals 0.11. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is when we get to 100 milliliters, we're going to stop the process. So to get this started, just to show you right now, and I'll zoom out and show you the liquid actually filling up, you're going to go and hit the top button here. You can hear the pump running. Now you see these numbers moving. Now what you're going to do, those numbers don't really matter. What you're going to do is concentrate on the reservoir itself. Now you're going to see it filling up at this point. Once it gets to 100 milliliters, say it's at 100 milliliters right now, you're going to go ahead and hit the top button. You're going to stop the process, and then you're going to hit the middle button, and that calibrates that pump. So you can go back into that pump and you'll see that 100 milliliters equals 0.39. Now 0.39 is obviously not what it takes to calibrate that pump. So let's go ahead and get into calibrating. Okay, let's get into calibrating pump 1. So we're at our main screen, we're going to hit the up button, we're going to select pump 1, then we're going to hit the up button again and start the calibration process. Now you can see here that this is starting to fill up. Alright, now we're just going to wait until it gets to 100, and then we're going to stop. Just make sure your line doesn't come out. It shakes around a little bit just based on the pumping process itself. So I kind of, if you want, you can hold it there. So you can see it's filling up. We're at about 0.68 right now. Now, when it comes to calibrating, I usually calibrate every 8 months or so. It just depends. If I notice that maybe my alkalinity is getting used up a little bit more out of the reservoir, it's kind of an indication that the pump might be not calibrated right anymore. There might be a blockage in the line, or it might be dirty. Then you want to go through and you want to recalibrate the pump. It doesn't hurt anyways. Let's go ahead and keep going here. We are at 75. 80. 90 milliliters. We're going to get ready to turn it off. Remember, the up arrow will turn it off, or the bottom. We're at 97, 98, 99, stop. Now it stopped at 209, so once it's there, you're going to hit the middle button and you're going to stop. So that pump is calibrated. Now what I like to do is go ahead and empty this back out into the initial reservoir. And then I like to do a little bit of a test. Okay guys, once you have everything calibrated, it's good to come in here and test to make sure everything is correct. So the pump's going to go off in about 7 seconds. I have it set to do 20 milliliters, so we're going to go ahead and see if this pump is good to go. Alright, just kicked on. Already said 5, 10, 15, and here we go for 20. Alright, that's good to go. That's right on 20. Can't get any better than that. Alright, so go ahead and do this for the rest of the pumps just to make sure that they're dosing the correct amount, and then you're good to go. So now let's go ahead and move into setting up times and all that good stuff. Alright guys, now that everything is calibrated, we're going to go ahead and program our first pump. So first thing you want to do is hit the middle button, which will bring you to this screen. You want to go down to set programming. We're going to do pump number 1. And then this is times per day. You can have up to 24 times a day since there's 24 hours in a day. We're just going to do 1 time per day. Go ahead and click that. Now this is intervals. Now if you want it to dose every day, you're going to keep it at 0. If you want it to dose every 1 day, every 2 day, 3 day, you can go ahead and change that. Now some people have like magnesium and stuff they don't want to dose every day. You can set it to whatever interval you want on that. So, but I want to dose every day, so we're going to keep it at 0. And then now you can select the amount. One quick note guys, it only goes up to 9. So if you want to go to 10, you have to go over here, click the 1, go back, and make this 0. Alright, so now that's at 10 milliliters. Hit enter. Now you can select the time. Again guys, remember this is military time. So see how it gets over here. Get to 23, high as it goes. Again, you're going to have to go back to 0 to make it at midnight. Alright. And you can select the times during the day, interval, minute interval here. Alright, so we got 11:30 p.m. Enter, and that brings you back to there. So to double check, we're going to go back to pump 1. We have 1 time per day. We're going to do it every day. We're going to do 10 milliliters, and we're going to do it at 11:30 p.m. Alright, so that's good to go. Now you can go in here, if you want to do more than 1 time per day, you just go ahead and select 2. Same thing every day. We got our first one here. It says number 1, 10 milliliters. That's the time we want to do that. Now see, now it changed to number 2. So say we want to do 5 milliliters of the same additive, but we want to do it at 3 in the morning. All right, so that's what that's set to. Good to go. All right, just double check. 2 times per day, every day. There's 1, 2. Good to go. All right, so that's setting up the times and amounts that you want to dose. Do that with every pump and you're good to go. So guys, that's it for calibrating and setting up this pump. It's very easy, and I've been using it for probably 3 years now, and I've actually still using the original one. In the next video, I'm going to replace that original one with this, just because my up arrow button has kind of died. It takes a little bit more effort to make it work, so it's kind of time to change it out. But I got 3 years out of the pump, so definitely not upset about that. All right, so I will see you guys later. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, peace.